There we go. Okay, I'll repeat that again.
If you want to say hello, you're welcome to.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening.
Awesome stuff. Taking from the shortage of fishing stories, nobody's been out recently. So, yeah. Gary asked me if I could tie some sort of buzzer pattern or a pattern that when the fishing is tough, especially for trout in still waters, that you can work with to try and just pick up a couple of extra fish. Now, coming from a lot of different times going out fishing, check out a couple of streamers early morning throughout the day, and you start seeing your catch rate decrease. You start off with a bang, 5 casts, 5 fish on a black woolly bugger. And then all of a sudden it's 1 fish every 10 casts to zip. Then you change over, you try something different, starts working. But one thing that you guys can also keep an eye on, when you're fishing in still waters, if you feel a slight breeze, light breeze, not whirlwind, nice light breeze, that it's just starting to ripple the water surface. You're going to see sometimes on still waters there's a break. You'll start seeing the ripples, and there's a flat calm section on the water. Now that area over there, where it stops and it starts with the ripples, that's where food is actually congregating on the water surface. That is a key for you to actually start targeting fish close to weed beds, things like that. When you fish these flies, buzzers, keep them very far apart. Sometimes you're fishing quite deep, sometimes still waters are very deep that you're fishing. You can stick these buzzers a meter, 1.2 far apart. But do yourself a favor, don't put 3 of the same color, can chop and change, but make sure that they are getting down. Floating line. Make sure that you're using a floating line with this. Okay, guys? And that's basically it. It's imitating a midge. It's every still water in South Africa has got midges. So it's part of the arsenal that you should take with you onto the water. Okay. You can use a dry if you really want. Instead of using three buzzers at a time, 3 midges at a time in a floating line, you can put 2 buzzers and then a dry up at the top, so it can act as a good indicator. Because sometimes the takes can be quite slight. You can literally just see the tip of your fly and move like that. And if you're casting 50 meters away, you can't actually detect it. So a dry can help you, but more often than not, whenever they hit a buzzer, you will know they hit that buzzer. That thing just screams off. Okay, it's almost like they're eating an egg. When you chuck out an egg pattern, it just bolts. So that's more or less the take that you can expect. But sometimes, yeah, don't cast and be like, oh, okay, whiskey. Ooh, where's my Orvis? I've gone. So yeah, you can't get it back. Okay, so to tie buzzers, generally you're going to use black thread. They're very natural looking colored. In them, they're mainly black, browns, and olives. So you don't want to tie with orange or red threads and stuff like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is create a nice thin thread base on the hook shank all the way down. Okay. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I'll see you. Show them now. Okay. The hook tonight that I'm using is actually a moosh hook. Shrimp and caddis pupa, code is 8463, right over there, as you can see, and available at Urban Fly Fishers.
Strange that.
Thank you. Okay, cool, now I'm not fired. Yeah, it's a new barbless hooks that Richard's organised to bring into country. Very, very good hooks, nice and sharp, strong. They get the job done very, very nicely. And you won't, it's not like Knappik, sometimes the hook just breaks on you, and it's like, why? Okay, so if you do want to take a look at these hooks, visit Richard, give Richard a call, and he'll help you out. Okay, so now we've got a nice thread base on the hook. Now, what I'm going to do is, just for adding a little bit to the fly, I'm going to take some stainless steel wire. This stuff is very, very thin, the one that I have selected. You don't want something bright and very flashy. You can go with the dull silver or dull grey. So if you open up small mechanisms in little remote control cars and stuff like that, you find they're very copper wire. You can use the copper color, it's fine. But me personally, I prefer using like a silver or a grey colored wire for this. And it's not always you tie with silver wire on these buzzers. Generally, you don't need to. But just to show you guys, I want to. Yeah, just to add a little bit of segmentation, because sometimes when you tie with materials like peacock herl and stuff, and you strip the herl, you get a dull side to it, and it creates like a bug type look to it. You don't actually see that a lot of the times, so that just adds a little bit more. Okay, and tonight brought some peacock swords. You can strip it out. It's got nice herl on it. I just want to find a decentish. There it is. There we go. Just going to take a fiber like that. It doesn't really matter for the body, because at the end of it you are going to varnish it for durability, and because they do have a natural sheen to them. They actually got like a shell type covering over them, so that's what it does. So just going to take the herl and strip it. Don't be too hard on the peacock herl, because sometimes it can snap while you're trying to strip it with your fingers. There are other ways of doing this. You can take an eraser, but sometimes you snap it more often than not, and then bleach as well. You can dip it in bleach quickly and wipe it with a piece of toilet paper. I don't like that. It makes it too brittle, and while you're wrapping it snaps, and you don't want that. Okay, so there we go. Lovely strip peacock herl there. Now we're going to, as you can see, the feather's tapered. It goes from thick to thin. I'm going to tie the thin side because we don't want to create too much bulk. That's the trick. That's the key with this fly. You don't want to create too much unnecessary bulk on this fly. Okay. Tie that down. Come up. So let's say you got about 2 eye lengths away from the eye of the hook. So you keep it about there. You need a decentish space. So now we're going to take our peacock herl. Just going to tilt the vise a little bit. Lovely thing about a rotary vise. And be careful with this material. It can snap quite easily. So be gentle with it. It doesn't really matter. With peacock herl, there's no dull or shiny side. No. It's not like a normal hackle feather that's got a dull and a shiny side. Peacock herl is practically the same. Yeah. The only difference on one side to the other, I'll show you after the fly is done. You'll see the one side's got a darker barring on the left hand side to a light brown. So with the buzzer, it doesn't really matter, but if you're tying, let's say, mayfly nymphs, and you want to keep that light brown showing, you have to make sure you're tying the right side on. Okay. Yeah, just touching turns. You're just trying to cover all the thread. I am a slight bit of a perfectionist as well, so oops, might be a while. And the lovely thing is, buzzers you can tie in all sorts of sizes. We actually got quite big midges in our waters. You can even tie them on size 8s, size 6s, and you get away with it no problem. But my honest opinion, my biggest one that I'll keep in my box is about a 10. And I go up to 16s. I won't go smaller than a 16. I think it's a bit pointless. Guys, whatever you do, don't lose your cool if you let go of the herl right at the top. It is frustrating. I've been there. Done it plenty of times. Okay, cool. Tie that down. And as you can see, I've got a nice little body going over there. You can't really see it on the camera properly. Now we're going to take the silver wire. Now, a lot of guys sometimes don't varnish their buzzers. They just leave them as is. One trout, bye-bye. Those trout teeth will snap this peacock herl like it's dental floss. I promise you now. So if you don't varnish it, that's what the wire is there for, just to add a little bit of extra rigidity. Okay. So you're just going to give it a couple of turns. You can go the same way because you're going to varnish over this one. If you're not going to varnish, go against it. Cool. And you can keep the spacing between each turn quite far apart. Don't have to keep it very close. It is quite far apart. I've been tying brassies for a couple of weeks, so this is very far apart. Okay, cool. Tie that down, nice and easy. Sweet. Okay, now that the body's mainly done, we're going to get to the finishing part of this flower. Now, buzzers and midges have got a thing called a hemoglobin. Now, hemoglobin, blood. So that's why when you look at a midge and it's like black or brown, and then you look at its head, it's like got a brown or amber sheen to it. And that's what we're going to try and replicate here. Now, obviously, there's hundreds and thousands of patterns of buzzers. They've got different colors to it. I don't know why fish hit it. It's the same as throwing out a blob. There's nothing in the water that looks like a blob, but they eat it. So, yeah. So we're going to take a bit of red flash. If you can get thicker flash than this, it would be perfect. But we'll make do with what we got. Yeah. Can use packets of chips as well for this stuff. Works very, very well. And it doesn't flavor the flour.
Pity.
Yeah, it is a pity, eh? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to take 2 strands here. You're going to tie them on either side of the flower. And the head, you can create a bit of bulk, it's fine. So I've got 2 strands here. Take 2 more strands, put it on the other side. And guys, make sure wherever you finish tying off the flash on one side, it's the same on the other. And don't try and get fooled that you tie on one side, fold it, tie it off, because then you forgot the other side and you're like, oh no, it's fine. Then you cover the one side and do the other side in red. I've done that, so I know. Then, just to add a little bit of something different to it, we're going to take green flash. Just a little bit of green flash. One of the best flashes that you can use to do buzzers is if you go look at Hedron Flashaboo, there's a thing called, I think it's Fire Tiger Flash. It comes in gold, copper and green, in one bundle. That's very, very nice to tie buzzers and stuff. So here we're going to place this on top, right on top. Okay, and now make sure you cover all the flash that you tied over and create a bit of a nice head on it. Okay, there we go. Now, take the 2 red flashes, give it 2 turns, take the green, straight over the top, tie that down. Now, because of the way this hook is shaped, it's curved. If you drop this, sometimes it'll slip off the iron, you have to start again. Turn your vise, your thread's not going to fall off. Okay, the trick that you guys can take. And try and cut this as close as possible without cutting the thread that's already there. Nice and easy. Don't even cover it up. Cover it up with a whip finish. You don't want to create too much bulk in front of this flower. One whip finish is enough. And now See, dull, looks alright, nice and thin fly, it's going to go down nice and quickly. But Sally Hansen's is your friend. So guys, you got a girlfriend or wife, you're going to have a fight soon for this stuff. Trust me.
Because they use cheaper stuff, they don't use good stuff.
Yeah, no. Okay, look, the normal Sally Hansen is like $40. I raided my fiance's nail varnish box and I found this mega shine. It dries like this, quickly. Nice, and it dries harder than the normal Sally Hansen's. I like this one a lot better. So yeah, not because it's for my nails or anything, it's for fly tying only, okay? Nice one, I like that. Okay, so you're just going to take a little bit of Sally Hansen's on the needle. Just going to brush it over. Try not create a bubble. Like if you see varnish creating a bubble here, stop. Try and move the varnish out of that section. Shut up. Now generally with Sally Hansen's you'll need to do about 2 coats just so you can get that nice glossy look on it afterwards, because the thread and all the other materials will soak it up, okay? Okay. Now when you get to the head of the buzzer, you can create a nice thick varnish head. It's not girlfriend, it's no number.
Salesman.
I don't know. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's it there. And that's your buzzer. You can tie them in a variety of colors. You can tie them in a variety of materials. Obviously, if you're using varnish for the body, don't use feathers like goose bites and that, because they do have, say, that nice little fiber coming off. And once you put varnish over that, it's going to look really, really bad. It's not going to look nice at all. Peacock herl works wonders for it. You can look at, for example, dry fly hackle. If you've got a grizzly dry fly saddle, take a feather, strip it. That stem itself will have that same barring as the feather. You can use that. As well as just for future reference for Mariki, mayfly nymphs with that. They work very well for rivers. Okay, so you can take that into account. Same as moose mane. You can do bodies for mayflies with moose mane. You can tie buzzers with moose mane. Flexi floss as well. A lot of you guys don't do competition angling. You can tie buzzers with wire. It's fine. Just wire it up, but it doesn't look the same. You're not going to get that same feel or look. Okay, and that's about it. That's the fly. And you guys can use different epoxy. You can use 5-minute epoxy as well, but that's going to take 5 minutes to dry. And if you leave it standing like this, it will start to drip down. Deer Creek UV diamond resin, good stuff. Loon clear fly finish, but the thin stuff, not the thick consistency, the thin stuff for buzzer work. Beautiful. Okay, just work it from there. Okay, but Sally Hansen's, my honest opinion, quick and easy. I can control it. I can control how much goes on, and it dries very, very quickly. You guys can pick this off the vase now and you'll feel that it's dry already, and you can put a second coat over it. Okay, so there we go.